Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's just two movies.
Welcome back. Buckle up, bitch. We're getting Spider-Man. We're getting superhero-y. We're thwipping and thwapping.
And we're getting weird into the verses.
We're getting weird, yeah. Now, I'm doing all the MCU. We're going to go through all the MCU movies. Dave and I are.
Yeah.
That doesn't restrict anybody else from going in and go, you know what my favorite movie is? Guardians of the Galaxy. Sure, yeah, we can do it. However, this movie, not even MCU canon. It actually might be MCU canon, but it is not part currently of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, because none of these people are animated. You know what I mean? Have you seen any of those Marvel movies? They're all real. They're played by real actors.
Well, I didn't think of it that way.
Like, this would have to be a different world. If Miles Morales came into the MCU, he would cease to be an animated person. He would be they wouldn't do like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Or would they?
That would be pretty amazing.
Okay, so if it's your first time listening to the show, what we do is we talk about a good movie, and then we talk about a bad movie, or something that's reviewed poorly, or something that people are like, you'd pick it up in a video store, and if you like that kind of stuff, you might be like, oh, this looks like a gold mine. But average, everyday Joe Blow would pick that up and go, well, that looks like shit.
Man, remember back in the day when you go to like a video store?
Oh my God.
And you'd be like, all right, let's get a good movie.
Oh man.
And then you would
like, getting Alzheimer's. I think I just mentioned a video store as if they still exist.
So like you would go to a movie store, like with your friends, like, all right, what are we going to do this weekend? Well, you know, we're teenagers, not a whole lot going on. Let's get a good movie that we want to see, and let's
get some stupid shit.
Let's see who can find the worst movie.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. So bad it's good. That's what we're looking for, the perfect bad movie. So we flip-flop picking the movies for the guests that rotate, and Jackson.
Oh, I'm Jackson, by the way.
You're Jackson, and it was your pick, and you went with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, and it is. If I have to rate a movie, can we rate it now?
No.
Okay. Man, no, let's wait. Let's wait.
Well, if you want... No, let's still do it at the end.
Okay.
Top
tier movie.
Little sizzle for you. I'm absolutely agree with you. I will say, in my opinion, without a doubt, this is the best Spider-Man thing that's ever been made. And if you disagree, I respect your opinion, but go fuck yourself.
This is the best comic book movie that's ever been made.
Like, hands down, it is like visual crack. Try to tear your eyes away from it. It looks amazing.
I've seen this movie so many times.
And the story's so good. I've probably seen it a dozen times. It is easily one of my top 5 favorite movies ever.
So how do you want to do? You want to like jump into the story? You want to like talk about what?
Let's do this. Somebody who doesn't know or give a shit about any comic book movies, and they just listen to this podcast for like the art house stuff and the weird movies we do.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell somebody that this is about without spoiling it? Something that they can't discern from just looking at the cover of it. Amazing cover art, by the way. Like the poster work for this. It's like my favorite movie poster ever made.
So this movie is about Spider-Man. Multiple Spider-Men. Women.
Spider-Mans.
Spider people.
And ladies. Come get your Spider-Mans.
And they open a black hole under Brooklyn. The evil guys do. They open a rift in the multiverse. And there's like 5 Spider-Verses that all the Spider people get pulled from into this one Brooklyn neighborhood.
Yeah, so they went from having one Spider-Man to several Spider people.
Like 5? I don't remember.
Fuck. Miles, Peter B.
Yeah.
Peter Porker. Penny Parker. Gwen.
Noir.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man Noir. Am I missing one? I feel like I
feel
like I'm missing one. I got Penny Parker.
Yep, Porky.
And I got Peter Porker. Spider-Pig, it's an old comic throwback, which we recently learned from the 80s.
Yeah, so...
It's older than me. I would not have guessed Peter Porker was older than me.
So my thought... We just had a conversation about it. I was curious to know, like, the Simpsons movie that came out back in the day, like, Homer Simpson was singing Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig. And I was like, what came first?
Peter Porker came way first.
And I was like, was this a Matt Groening effect where it's a time travel thing? And I was like, Danny, I'm not sure. Like, did he predict Spider-Pig?
Nope.
Did he do that? So, I don't know. I always remember the commercial for The Simpsons or that movie.
I've actually never seen that movie.
I don't know if I've seen it. I remember the commercial.
I remember the commercial with Spider. That's the only thing I remember about
Spider-Pig.
Yeah. They had him in a cute little Spider-Pig costume. That was pretty good. So, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that's correct. The story is about a titular character named Miles Morales. Miles is a young lad, 13, 14, and he gets bit by a spider, and now he's becoming Spider-Man amidst this giant catastrophe, world-ending thing that's going on in Manhattan, Brooklyn, as usually does in a comic book thing.
Yeah, so in his universe, there's a Spider-Man already, which is I feel like they tried to sculpt the perfect spider person into
if Peter Parker just like pissed excellence, you know what I mean, was just a bad like
everything that did was great,
everything in his life was going great,
A+ student, all that, and so there's already Spider-Man in his universe, and Miles is just a 13, 14-year-old inner city kid, just living a normal life.
A couple of things about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a 2018 family action film, 1 hour, 56-minute runtime, 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 87% on Metacritic. Release date December 14, 2018. Directed by Peter Ramsey, Bob Persianetti, and Rodney Rothman. And this stars Jake Johnson as Spider-Mans, Shamik Moore as Miles Morales, Haley Stanfield as Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac, Nicolas Cage, the voice of Stan Lee, Mahershala Ali, Chris Pine, and Zoe Kravitz.
Nice.
There's a few others. Liev Schreivers actually plays Kingpin in this, who's great.
Yeah. So, Miles.
Oh, and Kimiko Glenn. I had to say that. And Lily Tomlin. Kimiko Glenn plays Penny Parker.
Okay.
And John Mulaney plays Spider-Ham. I'm sorry, they got so many fucking famous people in here, man. I keep forgetting them.
I'm trying to think of how, like, we jump into the story and get going with it, like how... Okay.
Somebody spent a lot of time on the script for this. There is a lot going on.
And
there's so many layers and like throwbacks and Easter eggs and like little through lines for the story. There is no way in under an hour we can communicate all of them to you verbally.
No.
So we're definitely going to skip some shit. We're going to hit what we think are a couple of highlights, and we're going to talk a little bit about some specific scenes at least. But I don't think we even have to progress. Here's what happens.
Right.
Miles, he through a circumstance gets bitten by a spider, figures out that he's becoming Spider-Man, and then happens onto Spider-Man fighting bad guys. Spider-Man's like, "Whoa, yeah, I'll show you the ropes, kid. Here's a device. Hold on to this. I need it to turn off this thing that could kill the world."
Goober.
Yeah, hang on to this microchip goober. They called it goober later. So he does, and that Spider-Man gets killed. Black hole gets opened. Other spider people come through. They find Miles via spider sense.
Senses.
And then they're essentially doing a team up because he's got to try to get them all home and stop this collider from destroying the world, or at the very least Brooklyn.
Yeah, you explained it way better than I did.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. That's spoilers and all. That, you know
okay.
What I mean?
Well, yeah, that was good. Man, there's so many good things about this movie. I want to just touch a couple things. Like, this is the first movie that I've seen that they've made you understand what spider senses feel like and visualize.
Oh, it's the best, man. So this is right before Miles happens onto the Peter Parker of his world. Like, in his world, Spider-Man already exists. He already is Peter Parker.
Right.
Nobody knows that, but he meets him and then he gets killed. Before they meet each other, though, he's like walking in a room and it's kind of panned out a little bit, and there's those cool like steel frame pane glass windows.
Yeah.
and he's like looking around for something, and you see his like the way that they are visually able to be like, this is what spider sense would be like.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, it gives me goosebumps, man. It's good stuff.
It really gives me the goosebumps that you see on like
Goose pimples.
Yeah, like the goose pimples that they try to show in real movies, or not real movie, but like an actual movie, like
Tom Holland, Peter Parker.
Like the only way they can show a Spidey sense is by raising their hair.
Yeah.
In this movie, they show it by mental connection, like Miles when he first meets the original Spider or his Spider-Man. Like they don't say anything to each other. He's like, "Oh, you're just like me." He's like, "I don't want to be like you." He's like, "I don't think you have a choice, bro."
Yeah, yeah. It's like the first day that he's Spider-Man. He's walking through school. He's like, "Why are my thoughts so loud?"
This is just puberty.
Yeah.
It's like, why is my voice so deep?
I'm afraid your thoughts don't get louder during puberty.
And everything just heightened heightened senses.
Mm-hmm.
This movie does spider sense better than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's true. It's not just like a sudden. It is still though, like it makes every other cinematic instance of the spider sense actually feel more relatable after you've seen this one.
Yeah,
because this one's like, hey, this is what they're trying to show you. It's like in what is it, Spider-Man 2, when he's sitting in a cafe having dinner with MJ.
Doc Ock and
and he throws a car at him, and he whips right around and punches that car.
It's like, how did he know? Well, he has Spidey sense. You kind of like you have to take a.
It's just a little heads up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like you, as a viewer, you have to mentally say, "Oh, it's Spidey sense."
Man, technically, it's straight up precognition.
That's
pretty dope.
I mean, yeah, he's just Spider-Man senses things so heightened.
It's
a crazy thing.
Let's talk a little bit more about like what are the other things that this does that are lost in communication in live action.
One of the reasons this is one of my favorite movies is because the soundtrack's awesome. For one.
Oh yeah,
soundtrack's on par. Like they combined soundtrack, movie, and text,
and dramatic score. Yep,
so perfectly in this movie.
Yeah,
it's like
really
holy, this is a perfectly encapsulated story. And I don't know how you did it, but you guys did an amazing job. I would say the one thing that I really do enjoy is they made this as a comic book come to life. So they didn't just nod to comic books. They made a comic book movie. Like they put in where a thought bubble would come up and he's thinking, oh, I hope nobody sees this, or I hope nobody saw that. Like he's walking through high school and he's like, oh shit, everybody saw this. Uh-oh. Like he's like, everybody knows. Well, and then randomly he goes, that girl's tall.
Yeah,
I don't know
why is that girl so tall?
Then he goes back to freaking out.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not just us saying this. I mean, I don't know what an Annie Award is, but it's won 6 of them. It won an award from the New York Film Critics Circle, Producers Guild of America Award for Best Animated Feature, a Bandung Film Festival Award, a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, Annie Award for Best Animated Feature, a BAFTA Award for Best Animated Film, Golden Globe Award, a Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Film Feature film, and a Critics' Choice Award for Best Animated Feature. And also an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
I mean, hold on.
So this movie is not bullshit, all right? It's for real good. Even if you're one of those people, it's like, I'm a grown-up. I'm not watching a cartoon.
I'm not watching cartoons.
Well, you're fucking missing out.
Yeah, this
Pal
movie...
or gal.
This movie is in a league of its own as far as animation and storytelling, period.
It is fantastic.
Bringing, like, the thought bubbles into an actual movie, I was like, that's going to be cheesy. Like, if you were to write that down on paper, like, I'm going to bring a thought bubble.
Like a comic book panel.
Yeah. And it's like,
you'd be like, I don't know, man.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
But they do this in the movie, and it's like, oh, it fits so perfectly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So they've erased the lines in the panels, but it is still very much a comic book. Like, it still very much has a comic book feel to it, but I have got to say, man, visually... it's so stunning. You could watch this on a computer, close your eyes, and just hit print screen, and then there's your new desktop background, because every single shot in this is gorgeous.
It's it's such a good movie. So a couple of other things like that I really enjoyed is they the characters. So they bring in Fisk, Wilson. Is it Wilson Fisk?
Wilson Fisk.
What's his name?
Kingpin.
Thank you. Kingpin, and they make him how you think Kingpin should look as a comic book character. He looks ridiculous, and I love it. Like he's overbearing, square.
He's the size of a garden shed. He's humongous.
He is the biggest character I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's great.
That's the representation mentally. You kind of visualize, like if you're reading a comic book.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
It's like that overbearing presence. That's him on screen. It's like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. When he's on screen for any sort of a close up, all you see is his head because everything else is just his suit. That's how he is. He's so big he just cascades over everyone else.
And he's quick whip too, like when
he's really funny.
Spider-Man A gets smashed.
It's Liev Schreiber, by the way.
Didn't know that's awesome. When he gets smashed, Miles sees it and he like makes a noise and he goes, "Who's that guy? Kill that guy."
Yeah,
like,
kill that guy.
Kill the guy. Like no hesitation. The Prowler's awesome. Like you don't get to see him in other comic or other Spider-Man movie. What's the two-gun guy? What's his name? Tombstone? Tombstone?
Tombstone? What about him?
Yeah, he's in here.
Oh, yeah, he's just in it? Yes, that is correct.
The Goblin, Green Goblin, he's a different version, and I love this Green Goblin. I like the cinematic Green Goblin, but this one's pretty cool, too, because he's an actual monster.
Matt Gargan, by the way, is Scorpion.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing I like that they really do in this movie is they give you... So for people that don't like read comic books or keep up with comic book news or anything like that, prior to this or prior to Sony's Miles Morales Spider-Man video game, you might not know anything about Miles Morales or who he is or that he is in fact Spider-Man.
I didn't know any of this.
So okay, perfect. So this is a prime example.
Yeah.
I love the way that they gave you an origin story without showing you the same fucking thing I've already seen. How many times do you think you've seen Peter Parker's origin on screen, on big screen?
I mean, obviously at least 3. But in this movie, it does a nod to it too. Like,
oh yeah. The nod to it is that, hey, by the way, we will obnoxiously always give you the origin story, but it's like 25 seconds.
But it's like, oh, interesting. It's like, and this is how I became Spider-Man. Dude, you know the rest.
So brisk, so visually entertaining, funny, and short.
And each one of them is a bit different. It's
they give you 5 or 6 of these origin stories throughout the film, but it doesn't feel like you're watching an origin story. But you are, though, because this is how Miles Morales came to be Spider-Man.
It's like 20 seconds.
It's different, so they don't lean into that. They know that you're already kind of familiar with the other stuff, so they just march it right along.
Yeah, it's like, all right, one last time. Here's how it became... I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, every single one of them starts, all right, let's do this one last time. Right. And they give you their origin story. It takes 20 seconds. And it's brisk and delightful.
Delightful, and each one of them has a different feel and just a different story. They're all the same story, but told just a bit different. Like Gwen, she's not Peter Parker, obviously.
Right.
She tried to save Peter Parker. He dies. She was the one that gets bitten by a spider.
But Peter Parker, he's a pig.
He was
bitten by a radioactive pig.
And he is Looney Tune-esque and kind of creepy.
I really think John Mulaney is really funny as Peter Parker.
I mean, he's kind of creepy, but in a funny way.
Yeah. So when you first meet him, he's like, hi. He extends his hand and they're wet. And he's like, I just washed my hands.
I don't know if I got that
joke.
No
other reason.
I don't know if I got that joke. And I'm like, is there a joke here?
Yeah, that's it. It's just that he's weird and awkward. He's going for that, like a 1950s cartoon nostalgia, Looney Tune humor.
So let's go over the spider people in this one. So we get...
Oh, yeah. No, so we
great.
Get... Peter Parker of this universe he's fine. He's a great Peter Parker. I'll be honest with you, though. He's less interesting because he is so flawless. Like, all of his relationships are good. Yeah. There's no turmoil in his life. He excels at everything that he does.
Annoyingly good. It's like, okay. No one wants to hear that story.
Yeah, it's because it's not interesting. There's no warts.
He loves being Spider-Man, and every time he gets knocked down, he gets back up, and he still loves it.
So Miles' main mentor here is Peter B. Parker, Peter Benjamin Parker.
He's a
from an alternate world. He's kind of let himself go a little bit. He's got brown hair instead of blonde hair, like the Spider-Man that died. And he's kind of a schlub. He's depressed. MJ left him, and you know he's kind of a sad sack.
He's kind of over being Spider-Man. He's like, fuck, I don't want to be Spider-Man.
I like the way he's wearing the Spider-Man getup, and he's got a gut, and he's just wearing sweatpants
sweats
and bare feet. That's why I demand that as an unlockable skin in the Spider-Man game. Like, Sony, please, or anybody.
When they break into that one place and he's stretching, he's like, all right, here's the 6 steps that I'm going to go through. He's like stretching, and he has like he never removes his sweats. Like he goes in his sweats. Yep. I'm like, okay, man. And I love that. Like step 6 was like grab a bagel. He grabs a bagel. He's like, see, like intuitively, like he knows, like I'm gonna grab a bagel.
Yeah. Well, like later in the movie, he's always like, because I think it's an end run joke because sometimes it is too easy for them. Yeah, that's how the story moves forward. Right. Because this isn't the climax. They kind of have to just waltz through this.
Right.
And specifically because he is Spider-Man, he's so sneaky and quiet and can climb walls and stealthy and, you know, all his other stuff. But he just literally strolls in at one point and he's just like, hands on his hips. Hi there, Peter Parker. Nice to meet you.
While we're on this train of thought, like when they break into this, was it alchemy or...
Alchemax or Alchemax, I think.
Alchemax. Yeah. So when they break in there, I love that entire scene because you get to see Peter B. Parker, like how he goes about it. Like you think he's not taking it serious, like
he's taking it serious,
but like mentally, like he's like, I know what I got to do.
Yeah,
like I don't need anybody's help. I got this shit.
He uses the sarcasm as a level the playing field, I guess. I don't know what psychological mechanism that would be. If you're a psychiatrist, right? It says justthemovies@gmail.com. Give me a psych eval on Peter B. Parker. That'd be pretty interesting.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, seems like an interesting fella. But he's very funny. Is why I like him, and also I think it's funny he's a little fat, and it would be a fun skin to play on PlayStation.
And he's very smart. Like when he watches her.
He's every bit as clever as all the other Spider people. He's very sharp.
Well, he watches Doc Ock type in her password. It's like 30 characters long.
Mm-hmm. He's like, got it. Yep.
No problem. Got that. And then he remembers it when Miles is trying to get it. He's like, 34.
Yeah.
So that whole scene, I love it because there's a few things. There's a few call outs on that scene. One, like when Miles is leaving with the computer and the monitor, he brings the monitor thinking that he needs the monitor. I'm like, and Peter B. Parker's like, no.
What are you doing?
It's like, the monitor has no value. Like, you just need the hard drive. Like, what are you doing here? That call out, the Doc Ock, Dr. Octavius, she's a woman in this universe. Mm-hmm. Her friends call her Liz. Or
Olivia
Octavius.
Your friends call you Doc Ock? No. My friends call me Liv.
So she's chasing both Spider-Men out, and she mentioned something about that's proprietary. And it's like, that's like a corporate call out.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always like laugh at it. I'm like, that's an inside joke at whoever was writing that.
Yep.
I always thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like the look of Doc Ock in this. Yeah. The tentacle arms or whatever, they're not metal or anything like that. They're like a bladder, like a bladder material with maybe a gel inside of them or air maybe.
Like a vacuum hose, a big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's.
Oh, they look cool. It's a fun idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she plays it so good. Or they animate her so good. It's weird. We have never mind.
Oh, there's a bit where they think all is lost, and they go. If you're Spider-Man and you're in a different dimension, and you're Peter B. Parker, and you get to a dimension where other Peter Parker has died, you're down and out. You got nowhere to turn. Where would you go? There's one of two places. You would either go to MJ's or Aunt May's.
Aunt May's.
Yep. So Aunt May's it is, and they show up at Aunt May, and Aunt May immediately knows what's up because she doesn't have a spider sense, but she does have 3 other spider people in her basement.
Yeah, who are just hanging out waiting.
Yeah, because they all thought the same thing. Let's go to Aunt May's.
I like how she asked Miles, like, what universe are you from? Brooklyn? It's like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, that scene's cool. Like they go into that little garage in the backyard, and Peter B. Parker's like, "Yeah, I have one of these. Mine's got a futon in it, and then like this one is like technology. This is like Tony Stark built it. She's like, oh, this is a little pretentious.
Yeah, he does. He calls it. He's like, well, it's a little pretentious. I don't know about all that. He's just peanut butter and jealous.
Yeah, he's just like,
his is just a garden shed.
It's like I don't know. It's just like being a normal dude. It's like, fuck. If I wanted to be perfect, yeah, I could do that.
Right.
But fuck that.
Yeah, right. So he's very pleasant. They're doing lots of comedy. Like I said, there's lots of cool like throwbacks and stuff in this. And one that I do want to make sure that I bring up is when they announced that Peter Parker of this world has been killed, and they're all like, "Oh, it was Peter Parker,"
yeah.
And everybody's like going and dressing up like Spider-Man and meeting up, and somebody's giving a nice speech. MJ's giving a nice speech.
Miles
buys Miles goes
costume.
into a comic shop and buys like a Spider-Man like cheapo Halloween costume.
Yep.
And he takes it up to the counter, and Stan Lee is the register. So this is the through line that I want to point out, though, is Miles looks up at Stan Lee and says, "What if it doesn't fit?" He is, of course, referring to what if I can't live up to being Spider-Man.
And can I return it?
Yeah, and Stan Lee says, "So it always fits eventually." And then it pans to the no refunds.
Yeah, no refunds.
No refunds sign. So he can't not be Spider-Man, but he will have to grow into it, because the idea behind Spider-Man is that anybody can be him.
Yeah, mentally it is a leap of faith. Can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
to take on that challenge.
So at this point, when they're in the garden shed and they're going down the giant, robot elevator shaft or whatever, and they get down there, they're looking at all these various. It's very Batcave looking down there. He's got a bunch of suits.
It's Batcave mixed with Tony Stark, I feel like.
Yeah. So he's got him in these display cases, and Miles looks up to one, walks up to it, and you see his reflection in the glass. And the suit is much larger than he is.
Yeah. He's like, man.
At a later point in the movie, he comes back to retrieve a suit because he's going to do some Spider-Manning. And when he steps up to it, it's the same camera shot, but now he's the right size to wear it.
Right.
So what it didn't fit, what if it doesn't fit? He has all this self-doubt about whether or not he can be Spider-Man. And then eventually it does, and then he is.
It's all... And this is a life story. This is a live thing for... the real.
Do you know how much planning that takes to put something like that in a movie? A through line that's in like the first 15 minutes?
It's such an amazing line.
That ends literally right before the climax of the film. Like that, and that's one. There's like 12 of them in this movie. Like the writing is so smart.
It's so good, and it encapsulates the essence of Spider-Man just through that one line of visualization or line that continues throughout the movie. All it is thinking and becoming what you already can do. It's like,
right.
And that's us as people.
That is
in
inspirational,
general.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, we can all be whatever we choose to be. You just have to set your mind to it. That's a fact. Just as a side note, when MJ's giving that speech to the entire crowd, and she's like, anybody can be Spider-Man, or you have the responsibility now. And Miles is like, I have the responsibility.
Anybody can wear the mask.
Or something like that.
It's up to you to make the choice. It's up to you. And he's Miles is like,
audibly says it out loud.
Under his breath, she's like, she's talking to me. There's a guy standing next to him. He's like, I don't think she's actually talking to you. I'm pretty sure it's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor, dude.
Yeah. It's good. There's lots of little clever jabs in it. It's it's very cheeky and playful. Just fun.
Even with when you first meet Peter B. Parker, he gets venom striked by Miles.
Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar with Miles Morales, he has two abilities your average Spider-Man does not. He has like an electrical discharge. That's what they call venom
strike.
Yeah,
venom strike.
And he can cloak himself. Like he can just turn invisible as a defense mechanism,
which is a little OP for Spider-Man.
Think so?
I think so. Like that.
I mean, by the time he's like in his 30s, yeah.
Once he becomes full version,
a grown man,
and he's got some extra abilities than the other Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you look at Penny Parker,
she's a little badass.
yes, but she relies heavily on technology.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
She knows self-defense. Like she's probably pretty badass at fighting or whatever, but I think she's just a normal human girl.
Yeah, and she just has a spider inside a robot.
She has a psychic link with a spider.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's in the future. 3045 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the other Spider-Man. Like, they're in the Bat Cave.
Mm-hmm.
And,
they're in the Bat Spider Cave.
So you have Spider-Man Noir, Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
One of my favorite cameos, just period.
Yeah, he's just hanging in the rafters, and somebody's like, "Where is that wind? Where's
wind?
the wind coming from?"
Everywhere I go, the
wind blows, and the wind smells like rain.
And I like to light matches and let them burn down to the fingertips, just so I can feel something.
Just so I can feel something. He loves drinking egg creams and beating up Nazis.
Yeah,
that's his. That's his.
Yeah, he's such a fun character, and he's a great character in here. Like, when he goes and tries to do and he's black and white.
Yeah.
And he tries to do a Rubik's Cube.
Oh, that's good. That's a good bit. When he's doing the Rubik's Cube and he's like, I will keep this relic.
Yeah, he keeps it and takes it back. He's like, I don't understand this. It's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So you get Spider-Man Noir, we talked about Penny.
We talked about Peter Porker. Yeah.
Peter Porker is straight from...
What do you think about Spider-Gwen? Like, what are you thinking about Spider-Gwanda? What are you thinking about?
She's awesome.
She's got a cool look.
She's got a great look. She's a rocker, or a punk rock.
Yeah, she is a punk rocker, and she wears ballet shoes, which I was like...
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it either. I thought it was just like the style of her suit, but I was like looking some stuff about it after I had seen this movie. I was familiar with Gwenpool, but not Spider-Gwen. So I think she goes by like Lady Spider or something, Spider-Woman or something. She goes by not Spider-Gwen because then people would know she was Gwen.
Right.
But yeah, she wears ballet shoes, which I thought was kind of a nice touch.
I'm going to have to look now because I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice touch. And she's got a cool, like, her hood thing she's got going on. That's pretty dope.
Her hood is sick. Like, if any other Spider-Man had a hood actually, Miles gets a hood like that.
Well, he just wears a hoodie.
Oh, yeah, never mind. But yeah, hers is white. It's slick.
Dude, Miles has got a sick look, too. When he's wearing his graffiti suit.
Man, it's urban as hell. It is amazing. It
fucking looks badass.
It's like... The thing I love about this movie is like they could have shown him doing all that, but their transitions to like we don't need to cover that. Let's get to that scene and show you the finished version. Like they don't need to show us him spray painting everything and doing all the hard work. Like which they could have definitely taken time to do it.
Yeah,
didn't need to do it.
Didn't really. They're like.
He's got his Nikes on. One of them with no. He's like. He wears one shoe without laces, or it's always untied. Yeah, he's like, untied. It's a thing. It's a thing, guys.
Yeah. Dude, that fucking Spider-Man get up in the Jordans looks fucking sick.
It does. Bro. I mean, it might be my favorite.
It's pretty fucking sweet.
It might be my favorite.
Now, that is an unlockable skin in the PlayStation game, the Miles Morales one. And they make the frame rate jerky so it looks like the animated version does. It's kind of cool. I wish they would give me a version of that just looked like a live action, but the same suit. I want the same suit. I want him a little bit smaller than a regular Spider-Man, a little leaner like Miles is.
Yeah.
But not the animated look to it. But man, it's a sick look, dude. It looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. Man, one of my favorite scenes in all of movie cinematic ever was Miles jumping off. Like when he finally decides to take a leap of faith. A recurring theme here is Miles tries to jump off a building initially to test out his spider skills. He goes to the top of the highest building he could find and realizes it's very high. And he's like, nope, I'm going to not do this, and runs down the stairs. And then he goes finds a smaller building and he runs off and trips over his shoelace.
Yep.
And just falls down.
Yeah.
But when he decides to actually become Spider-Man,
take that leap,
the leap of faith,
he does it off the fucking Empire State Building. He does it off a humongous building.
A song in the background, get yourself pumped up because he's at his lowest too. Because all the other Spider people, they're like, he's not gonna be able to save us.
They're not believing in him. You know what I mean?
Then he gets kind of a pep talk from his dad unintentionally.
Hasn't even tried fucking believing in himself though. Is my point.
And Peter B. Parker believes in him and really knows that he's going to make it. He's just like, man, you're just not there yet, bro. Like,
yep,
you're just not. We can't. this is a lesson for almost everybody. You know, you find yourself in solitude, you decide to find yourself, and it's by yourself. No one else has to point it out. Like, you have to mentally, visually go there. And like, oh, that's who I am. I want to be that. I went off on a philosophical tangent. I have no idea what I'm saying at this point.
Yeah, no. I get you. I'm 100% with you, actually.
He jumps off the Empire State Building or whatever it is. And it is such a cool visual look because he jumps off backwards, upside down, and he's jumping into the city, into the buildings.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Like he's diving. And one of the great parts of that scene is they do a comic book panel where it lays over. I don't know how to describe that.
It's like how they would do flip animation.
Where they go,
like where you would have to draw a picture on like 30 pieces of paper and then flip them to be able to see the image move.
Right. Yeah.
So it's done like that with them laying pages on top instead.
As he's falling down, free falling.
It's
confidently.
It's pretty hypnotic. Like it looks fucking great.
And he's just got it. He's got it at that point. He truly believes, like, all right, I'm Spider-Man. Let's do this.
Yeah, he is. And then he shows up to his other Spider-Man, and he's like, what's up? I'm fucking Spider-Man. And they're like, oh, shit, we're all Spider-Man.
Like, oh,
Miles, your suit looks dope.
Well, he comes in, and he hits Doc Ock a few times, like, what's going on? He's invisible.
Yeah. Do you like the way he, like, ditches his clothes as soon as he gets in the building, I guess?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Because he's wearing he's got his jacket and his hoodie and his Jordans, and then like in the next scene that he's in, he's not wearing it.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But now that you call it out, see that's the one of those transitions. Like you don't have to think about it. It's like they just put you into the scene, and you don't think about how you got there. Like they make that in this movie so effortless. It's so good. Oh man. We could talk about this movie for days.
I'm really glad you watched it because I don't think I know anybody else, like apart from Alicia, I've forced her to sit through it more than a few times, and my kid, I don't know anybody else that's seen it.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I'll ask people that are big movie buffs, and some of them will go, yeah, I've been meaning to. I'm like, man, this shit needs to go to the top of your list. Like, it is phenomenal.
I don't know how you don't have fun watching this. Like, you got to be the dullest motherfucker ever.
What is this? I think this movie's fucking PG, too, which is crazy. Yeah, this is a PG flick. This might be my favorite. This has definitely got to be my favorite PG movie ever made.
Oh, this is, 100%. I'm not even gonna try to think of any other PG movies.
I mean, I'm sure we've watched a couple on the podcast, and I'm like, it had its charm.
This is only
in a way.
PG, not PG-13.
Just PG, man.
Man, what a movie.
What a fucking masterpiece. You can do it. It can be done. Because, man,
the greatest PG movie ever made.
Some of this shit's pretty heavy.
One thing I love about this, you get the quick synopsis of all these other Spider-Men and women, and like you get their quick backstory. At the same time, you unfold Miles' story throughout this actual movie.
Yeah.
And like his spoiler,
you get like 6 origin stories, like, and it doesn't feel like an origin story.
And you don't realize this is his origin story because once you see, he realizes his Uncle Aaron's Prowler.
Mm-hmm.
He gets shot. And it's like, oh, and then Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir is like, it's a heavy origin story.
Right, yeah. That's what he does say. He's like, that's a pretty hardcore origin story, yeah. But you never see Miles. At the end of the movie, he's like, all right, let's do this one last time. I'm Spider-Man. My name is Morales. Now I'm Spider-Man.
Chilling, kicking it. And...
Yeah. Man, this movie's got its own fucking vibe, and it's so good. Like, it just, it's comfortable, it's fun, it's breezy.
I could watch this on replay at my house, just leave it on, and I would I
fucking have.
Like, oh yeah, I love that scene, and just
I've done that, man. I fold laundry all day to fucking Into the Spider-Verse.
Like, oh, hold on, that scene's on, let me go check it out.
Oh, yeah. There's so much stuff in here that's fun, man. I like the way that they keep the violence and the tussle in without making it like there's a murder in this.
Yeah.
There's a murder in this movie.
A pretty heavy one.
Pretty heavy fucking murder.
Like, oh shit, they just
man beat to death.
Yeah, with his fist.
Yeah.
1 pound, but they just gloss over it and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's easy to digest.
I guess. They make everything easy to digest on this. It's just so effortless as a viewer.
Breezy, fun to watch. I really like the Kingpin fight.
Yeah, the in movie part fight. Yeah,
Oh yeah, there's great stuff here with his dad too, because his dad, like, all through the movie is like, I fucking
Fuck
hate
Spider-Man, vigilante.
It just shows up, zip zap bap.
Well, and
my guys are out there, no mask on, every day, risking their lives.
And juxtapose his brother, Uncle Aaron, is kind of on the dark side of society, or the underbelly. And he recognizes that, and he's like, I'm a cop. He's not. He's kind of opposite of me.
Criminal.
He's a criminal.
Assassin,
So yeah, like, it's like they do a lot of good, like, contrasting on everything, man.
Also, there's a lot to be said for the artwork that's in this, because Miles is an artist and he likes to do graffiti art. Now, as you could probably tell by even looking at our logo, I also love graffiti art. It's just I like the aesthetic of it. You know what I mean? Freehand, kind of blotchy. I'm digging it. And he does some incredible graffiti art in this as well.
One scene you get to see is Miles is going to school, and then, like, he's trying to fail out of this prep school that he got into, because he doesn't feel like he wants to be there. He doesn't, because those are not his peers. That's how he feels.
His peers are at the school that he already
he's
grew
at the
up
public school. Like, man, I want to be with my friends. It's like, what is this? And he doesn't even say that, but intuitively, you know what he's feeling.
Yeah, and there's plenty of us out there that can relate to changing schools at the age of 14. Like, that's a tough age to get uprooted, man.
Uprooted, and now he's forced to go to the school. So he's trying to fail. He gets a 0 out of 100 on an essay, and he's like, what it would take to get.
It's not an essay; it's a multiple choice.
Right, multiple choice. Like, what's the mathematical equation that you would have to do to get 0?
Do you know what a person wearing a blindfold would score on a multiple choice test?
50%.
And he's like, 50%. She's like, so the only way to get 0% is to know all the answers.
And she puts 100 by the 0, or like a 1-0.
Yeah. And then she's like, okay, so as punishment for acting like a dick about this,
you get to stay here.
You get to do an essay called on Great Expectations.
Great Expectations. That's where I was trying to get to, man.
Yeah.
So his graffiti, like, he goes with his Uncle Aaron. He's like, I know a spot, man. And it's a great scene of just music, kind of just vibing, and he's spray painting.
They put on some Biggie.
Yeah.
Look up Into the Spider-Verse graffiti art. I mean, I know most people listen to podcasts on their phone. I'm assuming you've got your phone within. Not if you're driving. Don't do it. Wait till you get where you're going. But Into the Spider-Verse graffiti art, oh man, it's sick.
And he's like, is that cool? He's like, I see what, and his Uncle Aaron's like, I see what you're going for there, and I get it.
Yeah, he's like, this is badass.
He's like, man, you
takes
got a gift.
Takes a look at his little sketchbook. He's like, what, you been holding out on me?
Yeah.
He's like, come on, let's go throw this up.
Yeah. Yeah, his Uncle Aaron's was like, let's
cool.
throw this up,
he's
man.
Like, yeah, you're into okay. Yeah, it's
I got a spot.
It's okay, it is illegal to put graffiti art on other people's stuff, but that being said, I like to appreciate the beauty, and to a certain extent, it can make a place look worse and run down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But there's also other taggers out there that I like to see, like, oh, snap. I see.
Shit!
This graffiti person's, I don't know what to say, like, their tag up on this bridge. I'm like, that's new.
Yeah, right.
I love it. And it's like, you get to see it and get to call it out. Like, I know that one.
Yeah.
I know that guy. I don't know the guy, but I know the guy.
Yeah. You know his work. Not everybody can do it. Like, it is a skill. It takes a lot of practice to be good at it.
Yeah, there's some. I would say so what makes graffiti bad is just bad artists, like
bad graffiti, really.
Like,
yeah,
they don't know how to actually do it, or they're training themselves to do it better. Or,
right.
It's like it's shoddy work.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I would really like to just put up a wall just out in the middle of the field, and just like put it by the road and just spray paint it every year, like whitewash it and then put something else on it.
This just came to me in the middle of the movie when they opened the dimensions, like. Some weird stuff pops up in Brooklyn, and then like some pedestrians are walking by, like this light post, and they're like, "Oh, I think it's a Banksy because it's weird." It's like,
right. They're like, "Oh, is that a Banksy?"
So they call it out. They call a graffiti thing out. I was like, but it wasn't graffiti. It was like an artist.
Yeah, dude. If I owned a business, I would pay somebody that was good at it to be like, "Hey, come fucking blow up my shit."
The guy, God, what was his name? He did Facebook's initial building, like the interior of it. David Cho, and he's they paid him in stock. Yeah,
smart option, I guess.
You need to look up his work.
David
He's a
Cho,
little weird,
huh?
but he's an artist, so it's like, yeah, he
All right,
should be weird.
Let me pour this beer. I know nobody gives a shit about this, and we don't normally even talk about it. Having a Tiny Bomb by Weisscare Brews Company, Memphis, Tennessee. Love Memphis. Yeah, Tiny Bomb. American Pilsner.
David Cho. CHOE.
Gotcha.
He's kind of a crazy dude, but he's...
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like his work.
But
it is graffiti-esque.
Yeah, he got like super rich by just spray painting Facebook's interior office.
That's fucking
and they paid him in
awesome.
stock.
I love it. There's lots of cool places up in St. Louis that have like graffiti art on the inside, like in the dining areas and lobbies and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing I did want to mention. There's a lot of cool imagery of the actual spider that bites him.
Yeah.
Cool looking spider.
Radioactive looking
cool
thing.
Footage. It's multi-dimensional, you know what I mean? You see it glitch and shit. Yeah, it's
oh yeah, it's a great
It's a cool looking spider because I guess it's probably harder to render the most realistic looking close up of a spider in CGI as it is to do a really good one in an animation style.
But they make it look hip.
It does. It looks hip as shit, dude. All this stuff does. It's just got a poppin' urban feel to it, man.
Like the
it's
whole
great.
graffiti scene, the spider's there the entire time,
Mhm.
and at the very end of it, Miles is taking a picture of his artwork because he's like, I gotta make sure I capture this, and then the spider comes up on his hand, and you're like, oh no, he's gonna, or it bites him, and you're like, oh no, he's gonna like,
and he
I don't know, slap him really hard. He barely taps his hand.
Yeah.
And
knocks it dead, doesn't even think about it. No, it was just because that's in two of the other movies. It's not in Tom Holland's.
No,
never. They don't even mention how he.
No.
Did they ever mention how Tom Holland got his powers?
Man, you're putting me on the spot.
I know. I would be the guy that would know, but I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know if he was ever like, yes,
Did we ever get his origin?
Oh, yes, it's me, Tom Holland. I got bit by a spider. Well, I just don't know if he ever says, man, or if they're like, I don't know. Are they building this as a different world where he just like was born that way?
Like a young Hugh Jackman becoming Spider-Man, like with that weird voice. I don't remember.
All right, last thing I want to talk about. We're about at our time here for the first half of the show. If you could leave us a like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review, that'd be fantastic. I know this is like halfway through the show. If you want to break it up into 2 bits, great. If you want to send us a message, fantastic. I'd love to read it out on the air. We will be getting like some affiliate links at some point in the near future here, so I'll have more information about that later.
Big timing.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But, again, if you want to help the show out, like the best thing that you can do, that I would like you to do, is to just bother somebody you know until they listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, just bother them.
And I'll be honest with you, not everybody's going to dig it, and that's okay. But if you could find somebody else that like gets into the show, that'd be amazing. Tag us in a tweet or an Instagram post, or hit us up on Facebook or anything. Where I try to be very active on the socials.
I mean, we have a good time when we talk about movies. I can't imagine people listening to this are like,
I can.
I mean, I can, but at the same time, it's like there's some people that's like, oh yeah, I'm just hanging out with these guys talking about awesome movies.
I've met people that like I haven't even got a word out of my mouth, and they're like, I don't fucking like you, and I'm like, oh, sorry about you, man.
All right, me neither. We're on the same page.
Now it's mutual, so you're working with that, I guess. Anyway, back to content. What I wanted to talk about is, what do you think about the post-credit scene with Spider-Man 2099? Miguel O'Hara.
So I've seen the scene a few times. I haven't seen it a bunch, so you're gonna have to remind me. I remember like is he bigger? Like he's a bigger dude, right?
He's a big dude.
He's got like his elbows.
He's not humongous. He just he has some pointy stuff on him.
He's
like
got something
the
going
Batman
on. Like I'm not.
Things. It was a if I'm correct, I think it was a late 90s invention. Spider-Man 2099 might have been early 2000s when everything was super extreme.
That makes sense.
Everything was extreme back in the day. But and Spider-Man was no different. So I did Miguel O'Hara, and he's in the future or whatever. You get a little scene with that. And I think that's who Oscar Isaac maybe voices, if I'm correct. But anyway, they are making a sequel to this movie.
Really?
Yeah, they're making a sequel to this. So they're going to make Across the Spider-Verse. I'm assuming you haven't seen the trailer or anything?
I haven't seen. They already have a trailer for.
There's a teaser trailer
I didn't know
or whatever.
that.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to just have a brief pause, watch the trailer, and come right back and just talk about it for a couple seconds, and then we'll throw it to the break. So,
but first,
yeah,
can we do spider thumbs?
Oh shit, we didn't rate this.
Like legs, spider leg thumbs.
Give it
like eyeball, spider balls.
Let's give it
eyeballs.
Let's give it giant cartoon mallet thumbs.
Oh,
like that?
I like it. I do.
Right. How many giant cartoon mallet thumbs you got for this?
I'm gonna go. All 10.
Yeah. For me, this is an easy 10. I don't even have to think about it. Like, it's not like, oh, can I nitpick? No, I like everything about this.
If you nitpick, you're looking for something bad. Like, on this, like, it's like, I have to go find, like...
Well, that's what I consider myself to be pretty difficult to get a 10 out of, and I've been pretty generous with my scores lately, but, I mean, we have covered some really amazing movies in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, on this movie, you would really have to go out of your way to be like, that one doesn't make sense. It's like I don't know if I can even find it.
I don't. For me, there's nothing. There's nothing about this that I don't like, except if it was 20 minutes longer.
Yeah.
If it was an hour longer,
give me more.
That's that's my only gripe about it is I want more of it. But they gave me 2 hours, so it's not like it wasn't enough. It was the correct serving size.
Correct.
So yeah, let's check out this trailer real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the trailer briefly, and then we'll throw it to sponsors.
And what about what you're watching?
That's the second half of the show.
Oh yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah, because we're gonna go watch Avengers of Justice Farce Wars after we talk about this trailer. We'll be right back.
Can't wait.
Okay, so we just watched
Across
the Spider-Verse trailer. We don't normally do this. But I'm really amped about this.
I mean, we don't normally,
I thought this was going to be a one and done. And that kind of made me sad. Like, when I reflected, I'm like, man, I really would like to see more of this. They announced they're doing a second one. We got a first look at it. Not like we got a first look. This has been a thing for months.
Yeah, we don't have that access. Not that I'm aware of.
Yet, looking at you, anybody at Marvel Studios, wink.
Winky, winky.
Yeah, or, winky.
Or like,
just regular
I got
winky.
something in my eye.
Yeah. I do actually have something in
Danny
mind.
does.
Anyway, what'd you think of the teaser trailer?
It's just such a visual. It brings you into this multiverse of spider people.
So Gwen comes back and recruits Miles for
the visual entertainment that it brings you. It's like I'm gonna jump in there.
It's like crack. It's like Cocoa Melon for babies. You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean.
Though.
Anyway, some of you know what I mean because you have kids and they're like Cocoa Melon. It's visual. It's visual crack cocaine.
It's perfect. They're like, I'm going for that.
Yeah, I would watch this. They could make a dozen of these. I'll watch them all. I don't even care if they're bad.
Yeah,
but this one's not. It's great.
Like, tell us the worst story possible.
Yeah,
whatever.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to throw that in there.
But that Spider-Man verse would be in there too.
That Spider-Man verse would be in there. All right, enjoy the rest of the show.
Tonight on Deliberately Unsolved Mysteries, the murder of Gleemore Stevens.
You know, a lot of people say you'd be a better man if you knew Gleemore. Those people would be full of shit.
On the night of December 27th, 1989, Gleemore Stevens, standing at the local bridge, by the local river, filled with local fog.
I knew Gleemore back in primary. He's why I don't have a left leg. At that Stevens boy? He's a real piece of shit.
Gleemore? I fucking hated him.
I heard he died. I didn't care.
Piece of shit.
May he rot in hell, a dirty son of a bitch. I heard one time he stepped on a caterpillar.
You know, one time he kicked my dog in the ear.
Just what a piece of shit. What the fuck's the matter with you, man? You kick my fucking dog in the ear, I'll kill you. I watched him choke the life out of one of my horses. I hope he rots in hell. I don't give a damn who did it.
Stole a seashell from my house. I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, yeah, what a piece of shit.
One time, he told me that he left me a tip. I let him borrow my car. He
Yeah.
told me he left me a tip in the ashtray. And when I got my car back and I looked in the ashtray, he just mashed up a bunch of beanie weenies. Guy's a fucking prick.
What a piece of shit.
Listen, he was my son. I loved him. But, he used to deliberately shit his pants. Like 8 months ago. It's embarrassing.
Really? What did that make you feel?
He's been hard on my family, having him. Quite frankly, we're glad he's gone. He was so mean. He was so mean all the time. I would just ask him, just be like, what's the matter? And he'd say things like, fuck you, Steven.
He painted my fence blue. What was he doing there? And who was he meeting?
Yeah, I was supposed to meet him there. He was gonna buy like $12 worth of methamphetamines off me. And, I went there and I saw him hanging from his toes in that tree. And, I tried to tickle him, but he wouldn't wake up. Oh, yeah, no, I know him. No, I killed him. No, I had to have him sign for a package. He told me to kiss his ass, so I took my pen and I...
Police and investigators are still unsure of what happened in this gruesome mystery. And until next time, on Deliberately Unsolved Mysteries, I'm Kent, fuck you. I don't know.
Brief interjection from your program. I just wanted to throw out a couple of special thanks for the folks that make this show possible. Big thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams, Lamplighter Production for our artwork, Godsized Growing for some musical guest appearances, the Missouri T-Shirt Company, and Dave, who's our YouTube editor. We probably wouldn't even be on that platform were it not for him. If you want to check out anything any of these amazing people are working on, all of their links are in the description for this episode. If you want to contact the show, you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just Two Movies. We've got a Facebook page now, so that's on there. You can always leave us a comment on YouTube, or you can email us at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com. Okay, yeah, and if you like the show, like, subscribe, leave us a review. That stuff helps tremendously. So anyway, back to the show. All right, no, we're back. Joe Jackson's here too. He's giving me the finger to not that finger, the 1 second finger.
Hold up.
Give me a minute. Just a moment, please, finger.
I need a beer.
Oh, all right.
Oh, well, that too. Not that finger, but...
So we're back. We watched Avengers of Justice, Farce Wars. Here she comes. Elliot. Nice catch. Which is a 2018 1 hour, 27-minute runtime. You'll notice I didn't say it's a 2018 comedy or...
I'm going to open a beer really quick.
No, go for it. That was not very quick. That seemed like pretty average. Pretty average beer opening speed, Jackson.
Well, I was trying to be quick. I don't know.
All right.
It's
It's because Google doesn't say, and also I don't know what you would call... Would you call this a comedy, this movie?
This makes me appreciate Scary Movie so much more. For the time that it came out.
Oh, yeah, I guess
it's
so.
Because that movie opened up the door for all these other movies, and this movie is kind of in that vein. But it's you're not that funny, you're not that good.
It's very much in that vein. I don't know
how else to explain it, but that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, that little ice. Little ice in
Got
the beer.
a little ice in that one?
Oh, it's perfect. Remember what we were talking about there earlier?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I was looking up a thing. So, okay, I can't confirm if this is from the same people that make Scary Movie and shit, but it is definitely that vibe.
Are you the CIA?
No.
You can't confirm or deny?
I'm just a dude, but I can't confirm it or deny it. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, maybe. It sounds right.
What are we doing on here?
We're doing the podcast, man. So we watched this movie, Avengers of Justice, Farce Wars. It's got a 2.4 out of 10 on IMDb, pretty sound. 1.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, also probably in the ballpark. 38% of Google users like this movie. Stars Simon Rex, Tony Cavallero, which is the best part of the movie. Amy
Shawn
Stewart.
Michaels.
Amy Stewart, Stephen. Hold on, what the fuck is that guy's name? Stephen Ranazzisi. Stephen Ranazzisi. I'm gonna go with that. Shawn Michaels, a little bit of sweet chin music.
Hey, that was part of the payoff of the movie.
Rose Lane Sanfilippo and Jordan Salmon.
Salmon.
Jordan Salmon.
Nice salmon.
Yeah, Tony Cavallero on the show that we talk about constantly on this podcast, Righteous Gemstones. He plays Keith. On Righteous Gemstones. And he, I think, in large, is the funniest part of this movie.
Oh, Beaver-man?
Beaver-man. Not Wolverine. Not any other rodent-arene.
Is it
Beaver-man.
Is there other eens? So me and Danny go back and forth on Instagram with a lot of just animal videos. Well, I send a lot of penguin videos for some reason.
Yeah, I do get a startling amount, really.
Every now and then, probably like a weird squid, like under like a deep sea.
Oh, I love a deep sea fucking monster.
Like, so me and Danny go back.
The ocean fucking scares the shit out of me, bro. I'm not into it. I don't like the ocean.
So
it is fascinating from a man that lives on land. Yeah.
I think I have a deep fear of really dark water, like ocean deep level. Like there's a fear of like, all right, well, I'm never gonna touch bottom here. I don't know. Like I don't know what that fear is.
If I had a heart attack and died, it would take half a day for my body to hit the bottom.
Slowly float down.
Oh, fucking gross, man. Anyway, this movie, ask me what I would tell people it's about.
All right, Danny. This movie we just watched, what would you say this movie was about? I
would say it's about a Batman Clark Kent ripoff.
No, Bruce Kent.
Bruce Kent, yeah. Super Bat. Bruce Kent, Super Bat.
Super Bat.
Bruce Kent, Super Bat. He's married to Jean Wonder, and their marriage isn't great, and their kids are getting their superpowers, and they're 17, and their kids both kind of hate him. Because he's kind of a piece of shit, and he's getting old and fat, his powers aren't that good, and he squandered his fortune. And then you've got Simon Rex, who plays Dark Jokester, and he's...
Malaven.
Yeah. Okay, man. Simon Rex playing this Dark Jokester is better than Jared Leto's Joker in the Suicide Squad movie that Jared Leto's in.
Yeah, 100%.
It's 100% better.
Because you understand what he's going for.
Yeah.
And he nails it.
Yeah, no, he's just better. He's goofier, though. He's like he's probably like a 70s comic book style Joker, but stylized to be a spoof of Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah. Because I think one thing I noticed was like the first scenes that he's in, like the makeup's really strong. I feel like he wore the same makeup through the entire shoot.
I feel like they shot it in a day.
Because at the very end, he's like barely like has any makeup on. It's like all worn away.
Well, same thing with the fucking Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what's up with his? Were they like just green enough, baby?
This is green enough. Like under his armpits, don't worry about it. He's not green under there. Like,
under his
normal.
neck, it's fine.
It's like it's normal to be patchy with green.
Yeah, it was real bizarre. Everybody was super patchy. Everybody's makeup was very patchy. It was weird. What the fuck else was I going to say about this?
Dude, the sweet chin music payoff.
There was a sweet chin music payoff.
Okay, so,
all right, well,
how many times...
I haven't finished what the movie's about.
Okay.
We got a little off track. So, Dark Jokester, he's coming from space and he's got a magic wand and they're going to fight. The rest of the movie's real convoluted. A guy's got a ray. It's something to do with he's sucking power out of the sun.
And there's a Thanos
and then
guy.
There's an Infinity Stone. There's a Thanos type of guy. Thanos. Trick me with your word trickery. Yeah, and you know the superheroes eventually triumph. There are some pretty fun nods to like, hey, look at this joke we thought of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, here's the whole deal with this movie is the story is absolute horseshit. It's nothing. Don't even worry about it. There's villains, there's henchmen, there's heroes. That's it.
Do you remember what happened? Like I'm trying to think of the
Yeah, but it's stupid. Like it's not worth even talking about. It's just
like a bad Hancock guy.
No, he's not even a bad Hancock guy.
He's just like a lazy Superman,
and-
Batman.
Well, he's just old. He's like, oh, my powers are fading.
Oh, yeah, his
and
powers
he's
are
like,
fading.
I kind of suck now. And
I really like how they did call out that kind of like just concept. It's like as you grow up in this universe, like they get superpowers, and then like at a certain age, their superpowers just go down. It's like that's reality there.
There's a bit where there's a monologue where he talks about, he's like, oh yeah, me and Gene, we used to fly together all the time. Oh man, did we fly.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
it's definitely a metaphor.
Yeah, it's just a metaphor for how they used to have sex before they had kids and got older, and you know what I mean. Just,
But it's a good mental like gymnastic metaphor. It's like, I see
yeah,
what
it
you're
was
doing.
it was fun, that one bit, and it was funny. You know what I mean? Like it was good comedy.
Yeah, brought you in and made you stay.
Yeah, it was delightful. I loved it, and that was it. And then there's the rest of the movie.
The rest of the movie.
There's the guy that's slightly better than the worst Joker.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a weird laugh that grows on you.
He's still better, though. If they were like, hey, listen, we want you to come back and be the Joker instead of Jared Leto.
I'm not sure.
I think not doing the same thing, but I
Okay.
think that guy could do it 110%.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm
He
saying?
was getting annoying, though. I was like,
yeah, as a 1970s Joker
it's like,
would.
stop laughing like that. It's weird, but kind of funny. Stop.
It's just funny because it's making fun of the other one. You know what I mean? Like it's done as a joke,
know,
which is
but
a
it's
thing the
funny.
Joker would do. You know what I mean? Which is that's so
like
Joker.
overkill on it. He went way out there.
Oh, dude, for sure. The real crux of this film is how many superhero types can we poke fun at? So they have, let's see here. Let's cite them off. Who all makes an appearance here?
There's
Rhea
Landon Panther.
from Star Wars. There's Panther Fury or Fury Panther, whatever his name is.
Oh, Lando Fury.
Lando Fury.
But I think he switches characters
and then he
again
does
after.
switch. Yeah, and then he's Furious Panther.
Furious Panther.
Yeah.
I had it way backwards. But no, there's a couple good character like twists.
Is Dark Jokester supposed to be Darth Maul? Or
He's Darth Vader with Joker
no, he's
ties.
Not the other guy.
He's Vader with Joker ties.
Oh, okay.
Connect those two.
Oh yeah, because he's like, oh son, come to the dark side.
And he has Thanos over him, which is kind of like Sidious over him.
Okay, got it. Yeah, making sense.
Where did we
You
go
know,
with-
I mean, we've had time to ruminate on this too. We didn't just watch it and come straight back in here. Like we hung out for a bit. We had a couple of drinks. We talked about it a little bit.
It's been.
I'm just not 100% sure what else to say about it that's interesting. I tell you what I did like about it though, apart from that one scene that we talked about.
The visuals weren't bad. I mean, it looked, for the most part of the movie, it looked good. Like, you could play it off as a bad scene in an old movie at this point. It was decent. But then it, like, hooked you in with the weird comedy. Because they tried to be really funny. Like, scary movies set the bar so high on scary, like, that type of...
On scary movies?
Unscary-
Is that what you're going to say?
I mean, yeah. I guess so.
That's what I was going to say. Fuck, but Tony Cavallero as Beaver-man.
Beaver-man. We got to talk about Beaver-man for a little bit.
Yeah, I can talk about Beaver-man for a while.
I mean, his haircut is Joe Dirt, but like...
Oh, it's super Joe Dirt. His whole getup is Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt mixed with Wolverine. That's
Yeah, he's got the attitude of Wolverine, but the look of Joe Dirt.
Well, I think Joe Dirt had Wolverine's attitude. You don't think so?
No.
He's a little go-getter.
So you got your basic Beaver-man, okay? He's got
pretty basic.
You got some I wouldn't quite say Daisy Dukes, but some very short
Daisy Duke
denim shorts.
Joe Dirtish.
You got some tube socks, and you're gonna need a nice boot.
Yep.
Then, what are we doing? Like wife beater and a sleeveless flannel?
Yeah,
sleeveless flannel.
Red and black.
With a fucking piece of wood on a string around your neck.
I didn't see that part, but I don't doubt it.
You see his necklace? It was just a piece of wood.
Fucking hillbilly.
Because he's a beaver. He's Beaverine. And instead of Wolverine's claws, he has like beaver teeth that come out.
Yeah. Remember in
and his
when
fighting method is just like really aggressive.
really aggressive
headbutts.
beaverine.
Yeah.
Beaverine.
I thought
Maybe
it would
they-
be funny as if instead of beaver teeth coming out of his face,
Have it.
which is what I thought was going to happen. Like, wouldn't it be hilarious if instead he had beaver tails that came out of his hands and he just like slapped people with them and they hurt real bad or something?
You know what? Something that's terrifying is like when you're camping on a lake
A beaver?
and a beaver tail slaps the water and you're not expecting it.
Yeah, it's loud.
Man, it is loud. And it's like, ooh, I was just planning on sleeping. It's like, that was fucking loud. That was a beaver tail. Like, you don't think of things like that.
Yeah, fucking beavers, man.
Then it's like, oh shit, well, all right, makes sense. It was a beaver. Huh.
They're out there nibbling wood to shave their teeth down so the teeth don't grow into their brains and kill them.
Well, I think they're trying to nibble the wood down.
It's a little bit of both. It's advantageous behavior. They make dams because they have to bite the wood. The dams give them a place to live. But if they don't chew on something
It's like a metaphor for
to
any
whittle their teeth down,
civilization.
if they don't whittle their teeth down, their teeth will grow into their brain and kill them.
You know, that's why it looks so weird around like where beavers live, because it's like so many like trees have been like nibbled. It's like, it's one too many.
One too many nibbled trees. About who you got in a fight, Superbat or Beaverine?
Oh, Beaverine's taking that fight all day.
Think so?
100%. Superbat, he only finds strength, when he's at the bottom of the barrel.
It kind of sucks when somebody's like he drops his mom's ashes and there's pearls because she was burned, but also she still had the pearls, and she's like, "Why did she die?" And he's like, "Because she stopped breathing." And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, she was really
The blood
old."
stopped flowing.
She's like, "Well, her death wasn't your fault. She just died of natural causes." He's like, "Oh my God, it wasn't my fault. Now I believe in myself."
Yeah, he is a little annoying.
Yeah, but he's
Actually, a lot.
It's the dude from the guy
The
that plays.
League.
It's the guy that plays Superbad. It's the guy from the League. If you watch the show The League,
The guy.
I haven't seen it, but I know that he's in it.
It's been a while since I've actually seen it,
I
but
don't think I've ever watched it.
it's pretty cool. Just like you ever play like corporate fantasy football league.
I have not.
Like, well, you get a definite feel for like that type of like laughter.
I know. I get it. I'm into it. I'm hip to it.
I don't know what
So look, if you were gonna remake this movie,
Would I?
if you were gonna remake this movie,
I would.
let's
I would
assume that you have to.
cast-
Let's assume that you are tasked with remaking this movie. It has got to be called Avengers of Justice, the Farce Wars, or the Farce Fart, or whatever it's called. Whatever the name of it is, it's the same movie. Gotta kinda be the same, about the same things, loosely. You can change as much about the story as you want to, but as a backbone, you can
Okay.
still make it the
main
same.
character is the main character's scary movie now.
What do you mean?
He's
You mean it's one of the Wayans brothers?
he's gonna be Marlon Wayans.
The main guy?
Yeah,
Do you remember we watched a Marlon Wayans movie on this show before? No, Damon Wayans.
we did.
No,
no,
Marlon.
it was
Yeah,
Marlon.
Marlon.
He was in
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons, like gold something.
Yeah, that was fucking a bad movie.
But yeah, no. So Marlon Wayans is our new lead.
Okay, Marlon Wayans is Superbat.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's a little funnier.
I would just try some different angles, man.
Um,
I would try some different angles
no,
and
no,
not like put any kind of budget into the parts of it that matter. It's shot like the movie Road Trip. You know what I mean?
But it's almost intentional, and they kind of make fun of it.
That time's past. You could be earnest, and it would almost be funnier to do it like in a style like a Martin Scorsese film, like make it real and gritty,
Like
and then
noirish.
have that comedy. Yeah, exactly. I think that could work, something like that, to give it more like less of a man. Because it opened up, and as soon as it started, we were both like, "That don't look bad." It was like
didn't look bad
like
at
a
all.
spaceship.
Like,
Didn't look bad.
Not bad. Well, we've watched some pretty shitty movies.
And then at the end of the movie, the device they had to destroy is just like a popcorn machine next to a cardboard box with an umbrella on it.
A little strange, but it's like almost like, okay, the movie. All right, if you hung around to the end and this is where you're at and you're paying attention, this is what you get, a fucking popcorn machine that gives you powers.
I fucking guess, man. I don't know. It just like the quality of the things that would have made it much better. They just deteriorated at such an incredible rate that it almost feels accidental. Like it was almost like, let's make a movie. We have this much money. But they did it chronologically. Like they paid for the first scene first, and then they were like, oh shit. That was 70% of all of our money we had to make the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
We have 5 minutes of movie.
It's like time skips through the movie real
It's
quick.
not even 5 minutes. It's like 20 seconds. It looks good, though.
There you go.
It looks good, though, is the point.
It's like,
it gets increasingly worse much, much faster.
you know?
And it's like the comedy in it's not really that funny.
No, like scary movies, like it actually made you laugh. It's like, oh shit, made you uncomfortable and laugh.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, I see why you're making me laugh.
Yeah,
but this one is just like bad humor, like just stale. I would call it just stale. I don't know. I mean, I actually enjoyed it for what it was.
Mm-hmm. Like if you wanted to watch it for any reason, I would say just to if you're really into the Joker, and I know there's plenty of people out there that are. He's a neat character, but I'm not like. There's cooler characters for me.
There's awesome characters all over the place.
Yeah, they're everywhere, but he's a good one. It's a neat rendition of the Joker because they call him Dark Joker,
Dark Jokester.
Dark Jokester. But it's very much just a very blatant Joker ripoff, and it's a pretty earnest depiction that is just making fun of another one.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. It's consistent. You know what I mean? It's not weird in a like, where's this weird character coming from? He's consistent the whole time.
He's consistently fucking weird. Initially, you're like, oh, that's real weird. And then it's like, well, he's remained that weird the entire time.
Right. You wouldn't be like, that's a weird... The Joker would never say that. You'd never utter that watching this.
Just his laugh was fucking annoying as shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
But you got where it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's for me. That and the fact that they had a character named Beaverine.
Beaverine.
I like
Joe
Beaverine.
Dirt on steroids and gemstones.
I'm loving it. Man. That's my favorite part of it. Let me ask you this: how many fucking Beaverine thumbs?
I'd give you some tails.
How many Beaverine tails? I think that tails joke would be if it was like shink, but they were just flappy, just really flappy
just like
beaver tails.
You get slapped with the beaver, and it made a real loud sound.
Oh yeah, just like a beaver tail hitting the water.
Like it would scare you more than it would hit you.
Everybody else in the room flinches.
Like, oh shit! It's like it didn't really hit me that hard, but it was like really loud.
Yeah, that works. You know, that's the. I read a thing one time that said that's the only natural human fear.
Is loud sounds?
It's fear of the dark, and fear of loud sounds. But almost every creature on the planet is afraid of loud sounds.
Of course, we're programmed.
Mm-hmm.
Beware.
Weird. Anyway, how many of the thumbs that I just said a second ago?
Oh, tails. Thumb
tails. Beaver. How many
beaver tails?
Beaverine. How many Beaverine tail thumbs? You give this out of 10 for bad movie?
For bad movie. I'm going to go pretty high and say 7.5.
Okay. I was going to give it a 7. So yeah, that fucking sounds about right to me.
I mean,
I'm being a little generous. I liked some of the dialogue, and I liked the fact that they were doing the Joker as a joke, and it was actually better than the thing that they were making fun of.
Let me explain my part of it. It was generally like the quality of the characters were consistently good. Like everyone was good at what they were tasked to do. Yeah. The comedy was hit or miss, whatever. It was a mostly miss for me. Like it should have been like there could have been a lot more, but like the actual characters, like they kept you halfway entertained. If you're just wanting to like watch this movie and do something else at the same time, you'd be like, okay, I got it. Mm-hmm. 7.5 is very generous for me. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm being generous with a 7 too, but some of the dialogue was kind of snappy here. But I will say this though, I'll give it a 7 with the kicker of
I will never watch this again.
I will never in my life, unless you tie me down and actually,
yeah, this is
just tie me down.
Don't rush out and buy this one. I don't think it's got any shelf life value.
Because if you put this in a room with me, I'm gonna like scream by day one. Like I'm done.
Well, I don't know about that. I wouldn't watch it. I would play a game on my phone.
Second recording.
Yeah, something. I'd probably just do another podcast about how bad it was. Yeah, so I mean that's what I got for that. That's what we do to kind of tweak it a little bit. I guess let's do the next segment of the show. No, wait. But no, yeah, go ahead. Don't let me forget about that. I want to read that.
You got something, but I can't remember what you said.
I have a listener mail.
I told you it wasn't going to be a good idea to have me try to remember it.
No.
I'm joking. All right, what'd you ask me?
I got a listener mail, but what I wanted to know. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I'm kind of excited. Let's go for it.
Do you want to do listener mail first?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do listener mail and then we'll do what you watching.
But
a Instagram user, Trenton, wrote us and said, "Hey, hey, I wanted to say that I love the podcast and listen weekly. I'm also in Missouri, but in the Kansas City area. Keep it up. Also, not sure what comics you're into, but I've been reading King Spawn, and it is definitely worth checking out so far."
Nice.
So yeah, great. I loved Spawn.
Have you read it?
I haven't read King Spawn, no.
Okay.
But no, that's what I told him. Actually, next week I intend on making a trip to my local comic store, and if I can find a couple in a run from that, I'm gonna go ahead and pick them up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fucking A.
That'd be dope, man. Yeah, that's cool. Did you say anything else?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a conversation with the dude.
Right. No,
I'm not gonna read the whole conversation.
Not whole conversation. No, I thought you had a question at the end of it. I don't know.
Oh no, just a nice listener mail we had. It's that bit where we're like, I don't know. Write us at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com or at itsjusttwomovies on Twitter.
It's
Instagram.
Just 2 movies.
We're also on Facebook. Leave us a YouTube comment, a like, or a subscribe if you could. It would mean a lot.
It's just 2 movies.
It's just 2 movies, and just two guys, just 2 guys in here, just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
We're just hanging out, having a good old time.
Good time.
Kicking good times.
That one you don't have to edit out. You're good.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah, so that was the listener mail segment. Anyway, back to the other segment of the show.
Hey, what you watching?
All right, Jackson.
Can I get a beer?
Yeah, you can do that in the middle of the show. You don't have to. They know.
I didn't know they knew.
They know we're drinking beer.
Y'all knew? Okay.
Well, I mean, they probably didn't know we were drinking beer, but they assumed that we're drinking. I think there's a spilled whiskey glass on our logo.
Right now?
Yeah, have you ever seen the logo for the podcast that you're on? I'm getting some artwork done. Okay, so while Jackson's getting his beer and drinking a beer and stretching and whatever before we do the next segment of the show, I have been getting some artwork together. I want to. I'm gonna get some. Jesus Christ! Slam dunk. I'm gonna get some stickers made, and I'm gonna get like 3 or 4 different styles of them. And I'm going to do a sticker pack giveaway. I don't know when that's going to happen, but catch us on Instagram. That'd probably be the best place to get an update for it. At It's Just Two Movies. Right now, I'm collecting a couple of designs. So far, I've got 3. And if you have one you'd like to submit, by all means, send it in. As long as it fits a square or rectangular or circular cutout.
Yeah, I'd love to see as many designs as possible.
I would love to see anything. If any one person, if your kid made one, I would love to see it. You know what? I might get it made into a fucking sticker.
It's and
then I'll give it to you for free because I don't give a shit. So, yeah, that little bit of news. Anyway, Jackson, what you been watching?
I don't know, man. So
what do you mean you don't know? I ain't seen you since November.
So the last time I seen you, was it November?
It was November. No, I mean I saw you 2 weeks ago at the rally thing.
Oh yeah.
We went to a rally. I guess we could talk. You've been watching that?
Okay, so we went to a rally.
We've both been watching that.
So let's go.
Yeah,
let's circle back to that one. I think.
Okay, we'll circle back.
Last time I saw you, we watched Gremlins. I was in the spirit mood.
That's the Christmas special.
It's that was good times. It's been a rough year so far.
It's been a bit. It's been a bit.
It's like, oh man, what's just going on? I mean, you've talked about this test I've been trying to take for a long time.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up flying to like Denver just to like prepare for this test.
Yeah, was it? You said it was like a prep class
Yeah,
for
it's like
the
a
for the
prep-
thing you were taking.
It's like a 4-day prep exam.
That's
like,
fucking crazy, man.
But it was kind of cool because I was like,
Props on you for going the extra
like a
flyer
lot of miles.
Flyer miles, yeah,
flyer
a lot of miles.
No, but it was kind of cool because like the hotel place I stayed at.
That couldn't be a Zoom meeting.
I was Zoom fatigued. I
could
was
see
never
that.
going to learn anything else through a Zoom fucking meeting. It had to be in person, and the fact that they had it in person was, man, it made me feel back like, all right.
What part of Colorado did you go to?
It was like 10 miles outside of Denver.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I've
not been to Denver.
I didn't realize the airport from Denver was so far away. Like, it's like 40 minutes. I was like, how the fuck is that so far away?
The Denver airport? Is that the one they say that's fucking haunted or whatever?
Yeah, I took a picture of like, there's
or like lizard people live under it or whatever.
Well, they have on my Snapchat, I posted a picture of like a gargoyle they have in the baggage claim. And I'm like, well, why is there a gargoyle?
Man, there's all kinds of weird. They had like local art commissioned when they had the.
I thought it
when
was
they had the
sweet
airport
though.
built.
It was awesome. Like the stuff I did see, I was like, man, that's kind of cool.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of
That's
cool.
cool, man.
Like the little gargoyle thing was like, it's weird as fuck, but it's kind of cool.
Man, one time this dude I used to know. I mean, I still know him. I don't unknow him, but I haven't.
I mean, you
haven't-
forget people.
I haven't seen or heard from him in a long time. But he's an incredible artist, and one time he sculpted a gargoyle out of giant foam blocks, and it was like almost 5 feet tall. Like, it was humongous, and it was badass.
If you didn't see it, let me find it real quick. Hold on. At baggage claim, before you'd have to go out to like get a bus or to your car or whatever.
Oh man, I love it.
And it's like, all right, baggage claim is right behind me. I'm walking out the door, and there's a fucking gargoyle, bro.
That's cool,
like,
man.
what's going on here?
So have you watched anything or been reading anything interesting?
All right,
or?
so that happened in March. We're in April, it is April. It is the fullest day of the year. It's been about 2 years of me like doing my own thing and studying and stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of like me getting back to like, all right, what should I be doing?
Are you needing some recommendations?
Oh, you watched Jujutsu Kaisen Movie 0.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, so don't spoil it.
No spoilers.
But I need to know, like, come on. First, is it subbed or is it dubbed?
My daughter and I love Jujutsu Kaisen. So she was like, oh my God, I want to see the movie. And I was like, well, let's go. And Alicia doesn't really care about it. So we just went. It was like a daddy-daughter date.
Nice.
And we went and watched Jujutsu Kaisen. We got the nice like heated recliner seats and stuff and kicked back. And it was a dubbed version. It was not dubbed. Excuse me. It was subtitled.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Because my nephew keeps asking me, is it subbed or dubbed? And I'm like, dude, it doesn't. I like subbed better, but kids just, they don't want to read it.
Read, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Look,
I want
to be in the loop. Fucking read it, baby.
I'm like, all right, if you want to know, you're gonna have to go the hardcore way.
Yeah.
And the movie is bringing you that way. So
yep.
Let's go. Like, so he's down to go and watch it anyway. But
go watch it, man.
Give me like a quick don't ruin it, but spiel for me. Like, or is it like a kickoff to the like a new like season 2? Is it a preview before like season 1? Is it a broader story? Like, what? I'm really like, I want to know.
So,
because I haven't read the manga or anything like that.
What can I think? Itadori.
Yeah, Itadori, Gojo, and then Nabaro.
Not Gojo.
Oh,
the guy with the black hair that has all the constructs or whatever they're called.
God dang it. He's got I think it's a woman's name in Japanese.
It is, yeah.
Megami,
yeah, that's his name. But they call him something else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And the girl with the hammer, they're all gone.
Nabaru or
yeah. So they all got sent away. So
okay, don't want to tell me anything. But they're not.
The story
they're not
happens
in this story.
The story happens at Jujutsu Kaisen or Jujutsu High
Okay.
while they're away.
Okay. Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. So they're going to come
Does-
back. They're going to come back at some point and all this shit has happened and they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Let me ask a question, but don't answer it if it doesn't ruin anything.
Okay.
Does Itadori or Gojo make an appearance?
Gojo does. Gojo's
Okay.
in the movie. The only 3 that aren't in it are the 3 that were sent away.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Ah, dude, I'm pumped.
I don't think this is a spoiler. There's a kid that has some powers or whatever, kind of like Itadori.
I've seen some comic strips.
How
where I'm
they
like,
captured him and put him in that like demon-proof room or whatever, and they're like, "Listen here, you son of a curse-proof room."
Yep.
And they're like, "We might kill you. We might let you go. Not sure."
Oh.
Same thing. They get another kid and they put him in there, and they're like, So Gojo is like, I got this kid, and it's that.
Okay. Dude,
That's the movie, and
it's
it is super intense.
So, okay. There's not many shows, period.
There's tons of shows. Wrong.
No. Shows, period, for me that I think are like worth like thinking about or like focusing any mental energy on.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen, I love it to the fact that like you should like really think about like what could happen, what couldn't happen. It's gonna be awesome because we're going on a ride together. It's like middle season of Breaking Bad when you realize it's pretty fucking good. Like, all right,
anything can happen.
I can't wait to see how this concludes.
Mm-hmm.
You've opened my imagination in this realm. Let's go.
I will tell you this: you get a pretty decent amount of God, what's his name? The guy that uses the curse speech.
What is his name?
I don't know.
He's like Salmon Taco.
Salmon Taco.
I mean, that's what he has to say or something.
Yeah,
because if he says something,
he speaks in sushi ingredients.
But like if he says something like very specific, it'll destroy it or something like that. So
Like
he has to say some random shit.
He could be like, "Kill yourself," and you would kill yourself.
So he has to like say some random shit. He's a hieroglyphic motherfucker, like he's talking.
Yeah, Salmon Row.
It's like, I can't say anything important. Just look at my emotionless face.
Got to keep a tight butthole. It's from that show, Workaholics, that I've never seen.
You've never seen it? You've watched the movie?
I saw like 2 episodes of Workaholics. I didn't know there was a Workaholics movie.
It's not the 3 of them.
Game Over, Man?
Game Over.
I saw that. Yeah, I actually like that quite a bit. It was
if you like that, there's no way you don't like Workaholics.
Well, if I've never seen it.
Man.
I'm open to watch. I just, man, I don't got.
That's one of my favorite gifs. Like to send in a group chat is Workaholics.
I'm sorry. One of your favorite what's?
You can say gifs. I'm gonna say gifs or what did I say? I don't know what I said at this point.
Get out. Get out.
Did I say GIF? I think I said GIF.
I don't know what you said. I think you said GIF.
It's not a GIF.
It's GIF.
All right. Well,
you can say it's a GIF.
It's one of them.
I don't care.
It is one of them.
I've never gotten anyone a Christmas gift. But carry on.
I feel like that's not even going to be a thing in like 3 years. Like people are going to be like, "What's a GIF versus a GIF?" It's not even going to be a thing.
It's just such an easy low res format for a small.
I know, but like
file.
the thought of like how it should be pronounced is not going to be a thing in like a year.
I think that people will argue over pronunciation for as long as human beings are alive.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb people out there.
You call them dumb, but it's just as long as the other person you're talking to knows what you're talking about, it doesn't matter.
It clicks,
how it's pronounced.
and it's you're speaking on the same frequency.
That's
like,
right. That's right.
I understand that telepathy you got going here.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. Well, man, as far as what I've been up to,
Danny.
Yeah.
So I've taken a test. I went to Colorado. Oh, that's about it. I didn't really do anything else since I last seen you. What have you been up to? Like,
man, I had something prepared specifically for this.
So it is springtime.
I watched the first episode of Moon Knight.
How is it?
You know what? I was hoping they were going to give me more origins for Mark Spector. but they didn't.
I don't know anything about Moon Knight, so I would need to know like some backstory. I've seen the previews and stuff. Okay, it looks
he's a man with multiple personalities.
Ooh,
he's just a man with multiple personalities,
like the James McAvoy movie.
One of those two personalities has made a bond with an ancient Egyptian god.
That's oddly specific.
But the other guy is like just a nervous wreck all the time, and he's like very like overly polite and real timid. And then the alternate personality, Mark Spector, is not that way. However, the entire first episode is you meeting the more nervous Stephen. I can't remember his last name. But for all intents and purposes, Mark Spector is Moon Knight. And then you've got Steven.
I've just seen the white outfit. It looks kind of dope.
Yeah, he looks good.
But it's not. It looks like he could. There could be a group of them. Like he wouldn't stand out. You know what I mean?
There's another voice inside his head, though. So he has a third voice in his head that doesn't have an actual manifestation, or maybe it does. I don't know.
What's the James McAvoy movie that's the break off of Glass, or the sequel?
Let's see. There's Glass, Unbreakable, and
the new one. Man, it's so
the
good.
new one's called Glass.
No.
Yeah. You're thinking about Split.
Split. Thank you.
Yeah.
We need to do that one.
Glass is the newest one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I like Split. Glass.
You want to do Split sometime?
Dude, Split sometime you want to?
Kind of gnarly.
I like Split. Okay. It is kind of gnarly. It's a good James McAvoy. It's weird the way they shoehorn in. They're like, by the way, this is in the Unbreakable universe. It's just it's weird the way they do it.
They throw it in at the very end.
Yeah.
But the movie on itself, like, producer, director was out of the game. And then you realized...
M. Night Shyamalan.
Split, having... Like, you don't really know...
I haven't watched Split in a long time.
The twist to the movie, like, until the very end, where it's like, oh...
No, there's a bit. They do it... They do it in, like, the middle of the movie. There's one or two scenes, but...
But you don't think it's gonna, go that far.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like,
the reason you watch Split is to watch James McAvoy do multiple personalities, because it's pretty good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I think so anyway.
Like it's an amazing acting performance. Just like to be able to do that and to be like good. Confidently doing it. It's like weird and good. It's like, oh, okay.
He's in a I can't wait to do a James McAvoy film on the show because I already know what bad movie I'm gonna do. It'd be a McAvoy double feature. But the other movie, it's called Filth. And it's so fucking... I don't know. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's good. I wouldn't say it's good. I wouldn't say it's bad either. It's a weird... That's kind of why I want to talk to somebody else about it to kind of shake that out. But, I think that's...
if I were to do a James McAvoy movie, it'd be X-Men First Class.
I love First Class.
One reason his performance is awesome, but Kevin Bacon might be the best performer as a bad guy.
I would disagree, but okay.
But like
I'd say Fassbender, but
Fassbender's amazing too.
Kevin Bacon's really fucking good in it.
Amazing in Prometheus though.
Kevin Bacon's he's like, let me just dial up the sleazeball. It's good.
And like a power that like if they were to use in any movie, like would be kind of unfair.
The crux of those OP villains is that they think they're untouchable. That's their problem.
Where the thinking has to come into play, but a movie nowadays, the thinking doesn't.
They think they're at a point where they're already a god, but there's a relatively easy solution to defeating them.
There's a strategy here. I can beat you.
Just like with him in First Class, man. All they had to do, take the helmet off of him and get Charles relatively close to him.
We had a Darwin him, you know how he killed Darwin in that movie?
Yeah, he's like, I adapt to survive.
It's like, that's amazing.
Not to everything, baby.
And he's like, gives him all the energy. It's like basically in a ball form. But then it comes back where he's frozen in that is it like a $50 or a penny or what is it?
Oh yeah, it's like a nickel or a quarter or whatever from Nazi Germany.
So he gets frozen by McAvoy, and then
Fassbender
like
moves the coin
straight through his head. It's kind of a crazy move.
Savage. Ooh. And
imagine being able to do that and doing it.
And Xavier can feel it.
Yes, he can feel it the entire time.
He's got a psychic link with him. Oh, it's good.
Ooh.
It's good cinematography in that too.
Magneto kills
I fucking
Professor X.
I fucking love X-Men First
mentally.
Class. I
mentally in that movie. He kills him.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer that that they cripple him that early in the story. Because there's lots of different comic runs. And I was actually talking with
I agree with that.
I was actually talking with Jeremy Jones of Destroy the Brain, and we were talking about X-Men First Class, and I was telling him I thought that I always wish they would have done the Onslaught comic book arc.
I don't know. What is that?
It is essentially Charles Xavier takes over, him and Magneto merge powers and create a giant super being thing.
Damn.
Without getting into any spoilers, I mean, it's a long, convoluted story, and we're at the end of the show, so I'm not going to get into it. But it could have been a cool.
I like stories, Danny.
Yeah, it could have been a cool. It could have been a cool arc. And would they have not crippled him so early and could have elaborated on that story more? That very well may have come to fruition. Because the coolest thing about Onslaught is just that he is scary looking. He's a cool villain.
Yeah.
He looks like the Hulkbuster, but from hell. Yeah, exactly. So I think we're about here at our time. Is there anything else you wanna tell the lovely folks out there?
I do. What's I want to say the Ferris Bueller quote, but I can't think of it.
You want to see the Ferris Bueller what?
I wanted to see the Ferris Bueller quote. I thought in my
Ferris Bueller quote.
Yeah, life moves
pretty fast. If you don't stop every once in a while, you might miss it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's the
quote thing you want to tell the people.
Yep. That's not what you want to say.
Yeah, no, I guess. Cite Henry David Thoreau on the duty of civil disobedience. Good night, folks.
You guys aren't going to start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that gold talk for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
It's really solid and fluid. Listen to me saying things. You hearing this shit over here?
Yeah, we're not.
What a
solid,
jackass.
We're fluid. The solid part's a little jelly.
What?